We had a Jerry's percentage that, based on what we know going into the playoffs right now, you've got 3 Canadian teams basically that are going to make it. Are we confident that all 7 coaches will return even next year? And we kind of laid out, obviously Sheldon Keefe, DJ Smith in Ottawa with new ownership there. Like, not even the job he's done. It's more, you hope that the new owners want to keep him on. Rick Tocchet in Vancouver. Like, what do you make of that? Because we all were, I believe, above 50%. Were we not, Hayes?
Well, I think we all said there will be turnover.
Yes,
somewhat.
turnover,
I mean, we haven't. You didn't mention Sutter. Let's be honest. Daryl Sutter's in the crosshairs as a guy. If they miss, it wouldn't be shocking if he didn't return.
Yeah. No, and I agree with you. Look, I mean, if we're looking at the most vulnerable, you're looking at the obvious. DJ, I happen to think DJ Smith's a good coach, but maybe new ownership comes in and says, you know what? We need to clear the deck here. We want new management. We want a new perspective. We've got a good young roster here. Let's hit the ground fresh. But that's not just management. We're going to allow the management to decide on coaching. So that could happen. It would be too bad, but it could. I'd say the same thing about the Toronto Maple Leafs, right? I'm in the camp that believes that Kyle Dubas has earned a contract extension. And unless there's an absolute unmitigated disaster in the first round, like a 4-game sweep, I still think that Brendan Shanahan is going to fight for him. And then you allow a question mark to Sheldon Keefe. But if it is disastrous, then how can you not question Sheldon Keefe? How can you not? So that's pretty clear. And then you have to look at Calgary. And we know Daryl, was furnished with a contract extension, and no other coach on staff was given a contract extension. We talked about Treliving. So there's a connection between Daryl and owner that's long-standing. That's been there for years and years and years. It feels like a stretch. I think Daryl goes out on his own terms, whatever that is. Is it management? Is it out entirely? Is he just maintaining status quo and coaching the Calgary Flames? I guess time will tell. But after that, there's no chance, no fear of Rick Tocchet getting displaced in Vancouver. I would say the same of Marty St. Louis in Montreal. Winnipeg, it's a good question. And not because I don't think Rick Bowness has done a good job, but if this season ends in a very frustrating way, Rick Bowness isn't a quitter by any stretch of the imagination, but could he feel like he's at a point in his career where, I'm not in that fight anymore and step away? I doubt it, but I'm also not going to slam the door shut on that being conceivable, right? I mean, anything is possible when you go through the ebbs and flows of the season that the Winnipeg Jets have gone through, because Rick Bowness was coach of the year at the midpoint of the season, right? I mean, based on everything that he did, took the C off Blake Wheeler, how the club responded and all of that. And, and then in the second half of the season, injury and otherwise, they've just kind of gone sideways at varying points. So I think that there's some fair question marks applied here.